Thank you for having me here and giving me the opportunity to speak of what God has done in my life through CRU camps. On the 2nd of July, 2012, on Winter Study 3 at Galston Gorge, I sat at the back row as a scrawny guy amongst a row of first and seconds rugby players from Barker. These were some of my best mates. Life was good. And I did not care one bit about what the guy at the front of the room was saying. I couldn't care less about whatever was going on. I couldn't care less about Jesus Christ. He meant nothing to me. This was a waste of time. Now, 10 years later, since and because of that study camp and many other people and events that God used, I can say that I follow and love Jesus and use those very sentences to begin my talks on study camps where I share the gospel with high school students. It was the seminars on science and God and the history of the resurrection. It was the talks on the historical figure of Jesus. It was the leaders who were caring, considerate, and courageous in sharing how Jesus had changed their life. It was the structure and atmosphere of a camp that God used to show me that life wasn't as good as I thought, that there was so much more, and that there was someone who could help me live it to the full. His name is Jesus. Camp was an escape for me, a haven above the noise of my teenage life, rising above the anxious anticipation of the HSC, the confusion that comes with social perception and self-perception, and all of that wrapped in the mess of identity formation. In this digital era, a chance to get amongst nature, meet new people, and talk about important issues with respect and thoughtfulness was and is very hard to come by. CRU camps are so unique in that sense and have facilitated so many faith journeys, including my own, by providing an eye in the storm for so many teenagers, a moment of clarity and light for kids seeking meaning and ultimately a relationship with the Saviour. I think of my good friend Ellie, who was on that same camp in 2012 and now studies with me at Moore Theological College. I think of Steph, who was a camper on my first camp, and now she leads on many of the camps that I speak on. I bumped into Luke recently, or G, as he is now known by his mates, who has since returned to church after a study camp last year, expressing his thanks again for reminding him of the beauty of a community that loves one another as Jesus did, a testament to the culture that leaders create on CRU camps. And just this summer, at Summer Study 1, Danny, who found making friends at his own school difficult, made many new friends on Summer Study 1, and ultimately a friend in Jesus. He now attends a church in Manly with some of the leaders from that camp. What is clear? What is clear through all these stories and through my own story is that God, through CRU camps, provides teenagers with a safe space to hear his voice, spoken through the gospel, embodied by the leaders, and even revealed through the beautiful creation that surrounds these campsites. I am so thankful for how God has used CRU camps in my own journey of faith and how he gives me the chance to share his gospel with kids. My participation in these camps has given me a front row seat to the work of his Spirit in opening the eyes and hearts of so many young people. So many. So thank you. Thank you all for your support of CRU. Can I encourage you to continue that support so that these camps will continue to help teenagers rise above their noisy and confusing world and hear the good news of salvation and Jesus Christ. Thank you.